Coach, emotional day. How are you feeling after the blood round and the semifinal?
Yeah, obviously very happy for a lot of people. Our two seniors in Micah Jordan and Jordan McKenna wrestled great semifinal matches. They've been on point all weekend long. Both of those guys excited that they'll get to wrestle for a national championship tomorrow night. But you also feel this deep pain for the wayward ones, I call it, right, where they just didn't quite attain what they wanted in Miles was just heartbreaking. I said earlier, I don't know what God's plan is, where it is in this. You know, it's tough right now to make sense of it all. But he'll bounce back tomorrow. I mean, he loves the university, he loves the program, and tomorrow hopefully bounce back and take third. Also, Campbell losing a heartbreaker in the All-American round was just tough. You know, this is, you know, we pack the place and we see lots of people screaming and yelling, but I mean, day in and day out, you walk alongside these guys. Schoolwork, practice, meals, conversations about life, right? These are people that you get to know really well. And so it's tough. It's a tough job. I love it, but it's a tough job. So I'm excited about what the team is. You know, I think that we've wrestled well overall this weekend. Three guys said three will go for national titles, and two will come back tomorrow. Hopefully, take third place.
I don't think people understand when you coach. These kids are like your family. I mean, you spend so much time. In fact, you spend more time sometimes with them than you get to spend with your own family. And so it's just as hard on you when some of your kids lose as it is for them.
I think as parents, right, you're a parent, and we all, you know, the ones that are doing well in life, you focus sometimes less on than the ones that are struggling, right? And the ones that are in pain, those are the ones that they stir your emotions on a daily basis to get them right. And tonight was just a listen, it was a night that I couldn't foresee this happening. You know, so that adds to it, right? It was a stunner. It was a complete stunner. We controlled the pace most of the match, all the match. We were the aggressor most of the match, all the match. We put ourselves in scoring positions. We just didn't finish a couple of these, and credit to Dean. He kind of stuck around, found a way to create some scrambles and not give up takedowns. And for some reason, that last scramble was the longest non-moving scramble I've ever seen. It was 30 seconds, and he found a way to win. So credit to him. And like I said, Miles got to regroup, come back tomorrow. We're with a third place from Miles, and Joey coming back to secure a second place finish for Ohio State.
What about Colin Moore? You haven't said anything about his match.
Colin was fantastic. I think that he was galvanized quite a bit by the Miles loss. I mean, to see that, I mean, he trains with him. I mean, it's very easy. I mean, that was a manly way to handle it. It's very easy, as Andy pointed out, it's very easy to have that cause chaos in your mind before you walk on the mat. He reeled it in. I think it galvanized him, and really he witnessed something that he didn't want to experience, right? And I think he was wrestling for himself and probably Miles a little bit tonight. So Colin's wrestling great. He's got a big match tomorrow night. And yeah, really happy for Colin. You know, he lost a heartbreaker last year in the quarterfinals. He was the number one seed. Got thrown to his back and pinned. Came back the way a man does. And you know, the thing I love about this sport, I love many things about it, but probably the thing I love the most about it as I reflect back on the sport of wrestling as a competitor is sometimes in life your best just isn't good enough. In this sport, quite often, your best just isn't good enough. So now what do you do with it? You look in the mirror, and in this sport, you look at yourself. What could I have done better? And that's a beautiful thing that this sport teaches me.
When you look at this team where you thought it was going to be 3 months ago, 4 months ago, have they overachieved? You got more finalists wrestling tomorrow than you did a year ago with one of the most talented teams you ever had.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, to be frank, I think that we lost some opportunities. Obviously, Campbell lost. When we looked at the brackets, we thought he could place. Singletary, you know, the ups and downs of a freshman. He wrestled great in one match. He comes back the next match. He did not wrestle well. So he fell short. Keyshawn Hayes was really flat. I mean, he was a little bit dinged up coming in, which is never good. So he was a little flat. But our studs wrestled well. You know, Luke wrestled well. Heartbreaking match as well. I mean, he got taken out early and got ridden. You just can't get ridden that long, and against a guy that's got a defense and a motor like that. So overall, I think Well, it's not over yet, right? It's not over yet. But as of now, it was a good weekend.
When you look at this senior class, obviously they have been pretty successful, 3- and 4-time All-Americans, the 3 that have been with you the longest. What have they meant to this program, and how have they changed the future of the program?
Yeah, you know, when freshmen come in, they look to those guys. So having examples, right? Example, we know it's the best teacher. It's the greatest teacher. And those 3 guys were examples. They're perfectionists. You know, they're perfectionists in a lot of things, all the things they do in their life. They're great students, they're great wrestlers, they're great people. And when you pursue perfection, I said this earlier, when you pursue perfection, there's an element of the unknown, of fear, because you're really putting a lot on the line. And you're saying, I love this enough, and I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. And if I fail, it's got to be okay. Because you're not really failing, right? If you fall short, that's got to be okay. And all those guys were examples like that. So we're going to miss them.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.